Well, if you haven't noticed, there's a bit of an un-theme in the room today. We're headed down some uncharted waters in pursuit of something a little unprecedented. When you study what makes a person, an event, or a place extraordinary, you find it almost always has something to do with overcoming challenges. Leaders conquer their demons. Greatness is the result of overcoming adversity. The communities and people who make up this region were established on that premise. Anciently, the indigenous people carved out an existence by honoring the natural environment of their home: earth, air, water, and life. Uniting with these endemic forces, they successfully sustained harmony in a place that wasn't very forgiving. The exploratory nature of Lewis and Clark instilled the gift of curiosity in this place. By opening a path of discovery, these storied explorers mapped a strategy for transportation and expansion that blazed a trail to a prolific future. When General Franklin Matthias flew over the vast emptiness here, he saw freedom. In what would seem almost unheard of today, Matthias envisioned a place where people from throughout the nation would come together in a common purpose, and thousands upon thousands would rally to protect the country they loved. Other determined pioneers saw opportunity in the dry but fertile soil and ingeniously found a way to capture, transport, and distribute life-giving water to the thirsty land. Their ingenuity, courage, and sweat turned the barren and dusty earth into one of the most fertile growing regions in the world. Out of a place pressed in heat, dust, and desolation came lush vineyards, refreshing riverside recreation, and unrivaled achievement. Sometimes when we're so close to a situation, we can lose sight of what we really have. So today, let's take a minute to step back into a journey of appreciation. Today is a day of recognition and reflection, a time to consider the past, celebrate the present, and embrace the opportunities of the future. We're here to relish in the driving pursuit of discovery that brought this place out of its dry and dusty beginnings, to revel in the thriving life we enjoy, and to reinvigorate the energy within as we envision just how vibrant the future can be. We invite you to join us in our quest as we celebrate what it means to be part of something unexpected and sometimes unimaginable.
In the Golden Hills of southeast Washington, at the confluence of three rivers, intriguing historical dynamics brought to life a collection of communities infused with a driving cultural pursuit of discovery. Visit the Tri-Cities and you'll notice an uncommon pulse of positive energy that seems to originate in our people. Experiences here are unexpected and sometimes unimaginable. A refreshing combination of outdoor recreation and beautiful sunny skies invigorates a rhythm of vitality and purpose. Relaxation flows across endless waters, rolling hillsides, fertile vineyards, and rejuvenating grape-to-glass experiences. Here you can contemplate the mysteries of the universe and become one with the rich elements of the earth. Toast the wineries. Savor the food. Consider the past and seek out the future. Let the passion and friendliness of our people move you, and the spirit of exploration expand your horizons. And when you sense the wave of the universe, let the world know how it touched you.
Visit Tri-Cities is a strong organization with a well-founded history of leadership and success. I'm grateful to have in the audience two of the former CEOs of Visit Tri-Cities and several other key players who helped build that foundation. And it's a privilege to be supported by such a skilled and committed board of directors. 1 year ago today, I stood on this stage for the first time as the soon-to-be-announced president and CEO of Visit Tri-Cities. That was a great moment in my life, as I felt the unusual kindness and unrivaled generosity of the people here. Since those initial encounters, I've met a lot of people, and I'm glad to say the positive feelings have only gotten stronger. Something interesting happens when you walk into a new environment. Senses are heightened, sounds are more distinct, colors are brighter. You see things with fresh eyes, you feel the undercurrents. Touch, taste, and smell all seem to be elevated. Every experience is ultra-sensory. If your attitude is right, that can be a real positive thing. When you're looking for good, there's a lot of good to see. Well, that's how this past year has been for me. I may have been a little overstimulated, but my sensory awareness has been overflowing. I'm so excited to share the unique treasures of this place with the world. This year, we saw a major transition in the staff at Visit Tri-Cities. 50% of our team has been with the organization for less than 6 months. As we assembled our team, we did a deep dive into visitor messaging strategy with new perspectives. One of the key components in tourism marketing is understanding the destination drivers. What are the core experiences in a destination that drive visitation? How do you communicate those experiences in a way that will inspire a decision to visit? Every potential visitor is on a path of discovery, and the goal is to meet them where they are on the path and lead them down the decision-making funnel. From inspiration and dreaming, to consideration, to planning, to booking, to anticipation, to experiencing, and ultimately to sharing that experience. Effective and lasting destination marketing goes deeper than clever gimmicks and catchy phrases. It's all about knowing and embracing who you are, understanding why who you are is important to a visitor, finding the visitors who are receptive to your destination drivers, communicating with those visitors in a way that inspires a decision to visit, and then fulfilling their expectations when they arrive. Not everything about a destination drives visitation. Our job is to fully understand the things that do and to find a way to intrigue the world with them. Well, over the past year, our new team has been driven to uncover, understand, and refine and revitalize our strategic messaging for the post-pandemic world, and to do it in a way that builds a foundation for long-term success. One of the steps in that process is to identify and understand the key activities and attractions that are unique to this destination. As we pushed and pulled on this objective, we discovered 4 core experience categories that define who we are as a destination, and one overarching constant that envelops them all. Now, there's nothing too earth-shattering about the 4 experience categories, but identifying and defining them is essential to creating simple and powerful branding for the destination. The 4 core experience categories in the Tri-Cities that we uncovered are winery and vineyard experiences, river recreation, history and science, and events and entertainment. Those are the 4 destination drivers, and on your table you'll see symbols representing each of those category experiences. Well, these 4 core experiences are all wrapped up in a package of sunshine and open spaces. And that's really important because sunshine and open spaces are uncommon in the Pacific Northwest. If you've lived here for a while, this might seem pretty obvious to you, but to a visitor looking in for the first time, it's not so simple. These categories provide a frame of reference that helps guide the visitor and inspire them. By packaging our destination experiences like this, we make it easier for visitors to connect with the flavor of our destination. We help them understand what the Tri-Cities are all about, and we help them identify with the activities that they're looking for. When people ask, what is there to do in the Tri-Cities? It's easy to say, well, there are 4 core experiences here: wineries and vineyards, river recreation, history and science, and events and entertainment. Those are the things that make this destination unique. And unlike what you'll experience in the rest of the state, our experiences can be enjoyed in a place with endless sunshine and wide open spaces. Well, understanding the what of our destination is important, but the most moving part of our story is not really about what, it's about why. The video you saw at the beginning of this luncheon is our manifesto. We created it to convey the essence of our destination and tell the story of why this place is so intriguingly unique. Why is this destination the destination it is? Why are the people the way they are? Why do you feel the way you feel when you're here? Why is it unexpected and sometimes unimaginable? Those are the undercurrents that provide feeling and emotion. Those are the influences that resonate the senses. Those are the true destination drivers. The why that our team discovered is layered in the stories and passions of our people. The people behind the experience categories. The people like you who are infused with an uncommon pulse of positive energy and a driving pursuit of discovery. Over the next 15 minutes, in TED Talk fashion, we're excited to hear from 4 distinct individuals from the Tri-Cities to help us celebrate the why of our core experiences. Each presentation will begin with a short video introducing the experience category that the speaker represents. Our first presenter is Victor Palencia, the founder of Palencia Wine Company. I wish I could convey the emotion that I felt when I first met Victor. There was no pretense, just down-to-earth sense of welcoming enthusiasm. As he shared his story with me, I couldn't believe the curiosity, creativity, and drive that led him to where he is now. And I couldn't believe how young he was when he got started. What were you, 12, I asked? 13, he said with a chuckle. In 2005, 2 years after he graduated from high school, the New York Times featured Victor as the youngest winemaker in America. At 27, he founded Palencia Wine Company. At 31, he was named one of America's top 40 under 40 winemakers. And 3 years later, Palencia Wine Company was named Pacific Northwest Winery of the Year. It's obvious that Victor has an entrepreneurial spirit, and his creativity and friendliness are a typical representation of the winery and vineyard experiences in the Tri-Cities. Ladies and gentlemen, representing winery and vineyards, Victor Palencia.
Uncork your senses in the heart of Washington wine country, where tasting is only part of the experience. Here, relaxation flows across 200 wineries and vineyards within a 50-mile radius, all gleaming with friendship and festivities. Flavorful bonds and award-winning blends emerge each year, patiently waiting to be savored. Create your own blend of science, sunshine, and spirit in the Tri-Cities.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm thrilled to share a remarkable journey, the vibrant spirit that makes Tri-Cities an extraordinary wine destination. Picture this. Over 20 years ago, the seed of ambition was planted here in a young wine region. Fast forward till today, our progress has been nothing short of remarkable. Within a 60-mile radius, you will find some of Washington's most prestigious vineyards. In these vineyards, you'll find stories, passion, and authenticity that cannot be replicated anywhere else. These highly sought-after vineyards contributed significantly to Washington's becoming the second largest wine region in the U.S. Within a 60-mile radius of the Tri-Cities, you also find a treasure trove of 200-plus wineries. Yes, you heard right, 200 wineries. This concentration has branded us as the heartland of wine country. And as a proud owner of a couple wineries located here, this decision resonates deeply. 7 years ago, I moved my business here, drawn by the several compelling reasons I'm about to share. First, our climate. Who doesn't love sunny, warm, sunny days? These and clear blue skies. Well, grapes love that too. In fact, it's the key reason behind the exceptional quality of our wines. But it's not just the climate. It's the diversity of our terroir. The unique growing region blesses us with both delicious reds and whites, providing us an array of offerings to our consumers. What truly sets us apart are the local talented wine producers. We're surrounded by family-owned wineries, each with its own enchanting story and limited produced wines. These exclusive wines can only be found in our local tasting rooms. So it's not just grown here, it's made here and it's sold here. The shared passion among all the producers to craft premium wines makes this area highly sought after. Each bottle carries the essence of this land, crafted with care and offered with pride. Accessibility is important too. We're centrally located. We're stone's throw away from major highways and of course our PDX airport, making the Tri-Cities a perfect weekend or weekday or weekend destination throughout the entire Northwest. Yet beyond the climate, the grapes, and the accessibility, the heart of the region lies within our people. It's a community of passionate winemakers and winery business owners who are committed to sharing their passion of their craft with the world. This is about authenticity, about something that's homegrown. This is Tri-Cities. As I've had the privilege to visit various wine regions worldwide, I can attest the heartland of Washington wine country is here in the Tri-Cities. This isn't just about a glass of wine. It's about a shared story, about great people sharing a piece of home. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey. Here's your Tri-Cities, a destination where a sip tastes like home. Mi casa es tu casa, welcome home. Thank you.
Thank you, Victor. What a great guy. What a great experience and a representation of the wine and vineyard experiences here. Our next presenter is Faith Akapov, founder and operator of Tri-Cities Tackle. Faith is another example of the refreshing vitality and purpose you find in the Tri-Cities. She loves just about any kind of outdoor recreation, but she really loves to fish. In 2004, Faith moved to Pasco following her mom's job at Hanford. When she arrived, the open space and sunshine played perfectly into her hand. Sports and outdoor recreation were a big part of her family life, and Faith was involved in just about all of it. She took up soccer at a young age and played across the world at just about every level. But the river seemed to beckon to both her passion and her entrepreneurial spirit. And in 2020, she started a fishing and tackle company out of her garage. That initiative has grown into a robust brick and mortar business in Richland, and her ingenuity has spawned 2 patented products available in the fishing industry. Faith calls herself a mompreneur who's teaching her kids what it means to follow your passion. She's all about having fun, making memories, and unwinding in the refreshing swell of the river. Please welcome Faith Akapov.
Unwind in the refreshing swell of life on the river. Flowing together through the backdrop of gentle hills and golden light, the Columbia, Snake, and Yakima rivers are a hub for recreation and relaxation. Rolling waters shape the lifestyle in the Tri-Cities, and worries float away with the sunset. Cast a line, cool your toes, or immerse yourself completely. Chances are, a little river recreation is just what you need.
Good afternoon. A 10-foot sturgeon, a 30-pound Chinook, a dirty 30 walleye. I can see all you anglers out there already taking notes. But wait until you hear my Jaws moment on the Columbia River. My husband and I managed to shake the kids off for a day, and we decided to try sturgeon fishing for the first time. Mike Posey, our guide, promised us a catch. What he didn't promise us was that we needed a bigger boat. Our first bite was what seemed to be the Moby Dick of sturgeons, a 10-footer, 900-pound fish. This fish was so strong, it turned our boat into a merry-go-round. There we were, passing the rod like a hot potato, arms flailing. I'm sure I was screaming a little bit at my husband, "Yes, you can do it." And it happened for 30 minutes, but because it's my fishtail, it was 60 minutes. At one point, I was expecting to reel in Poseidon himself. Not only was it our first sturgeon, but it also set a new personal best for Mike as well. You might be wondering why I'm talking about fishing. Because I want to show you that when it comes to travel, the Tri-Cities offers something far more meaningful than the usual sunny beach or the Disneyland getaway. I'm originally from Colorado, and I admit, when I first got here to the Tri-Cities 19 years ago, I saw nothing but sagebrush and sand, and I wanted to leave. I wanted to pack my bags and go back home. But then I discovered what this region truly offers to outdoor enthusiasts like myself. And I was hooked, no pun intended. Here, we're blessed with 300 days of sunshine a year and over 2,500 miles of river, not to mention the world-class wineries and breathtaking excursions. Take the Columbia River, for example. It spans 7 states and a Canadian province. This magnificent river, along with its tributaries, supports diverse fish species, providing drinking water, irrigates farmlands, and even supports shipping channels. All of this exists within the stunning landscape of the Columbia River Gorge, complete with hiking, biking paths, and over 90 waterfalls. The rivers of the Tri-Cities provide more than a playground. They're a choose-your-own adventure story. Fancy a leisure boat ride to enjoy a picturesque sunset? You got it. Want to spend a day at the park barbecuing with friends and family? It's yours to enjoy. How about a paddleboard or kayaking in calm waters? Perfect for a sunny afternoon. Never fished our world-class fishery? Hire an experienced guide for your chance to catch a walleye, a 10-foot sturgeon, a sockeye, or even a king chinook. Looking for a little bit more serenity and relaxation? Kayak, or even paddleboard, or float down the Yakima River. One of my personal favorites with my family is anchoring our boat in the middle of summer and watching the hydroplane races. For those wanting a unique experience, you can take a cruise from Clarkston to Astoria, or even go on a local water-to-wine cruise. The point is, whatever type of playground you're in the mood for, you'll find it here. Visitors come from all over the world to experience these waters, and I guarantee the memories they make with your family and friends are unforgettable. Sometimes because the rivers are so much a part of our life, we can forget what a remarkable treasure they really are. But I hope that you'll never do that. I hope to see you out there, whether it's fishing, kayaking, or just relaxing by the water. And thank you for making river recreation a refreshing piece in our ultimate playground.
When I told my wife there was a 900-pound sturgeon in the river, she said, "I'm never going." I got to convince her that they're bottom feeders and they're not coming up for you. That's an incredible story. Just trying to equate that, Shaquille O'Neal. How many Shaquille O'Neals is that? It puts it in perspective. Thank you, Faith. Next in our lineup is Michael Landry. On September 14th, 2015, Michael Landry was a detection lead scientist on the Discovery team that detected gravitational waves that were created when 2 black holes collided 1.3 billion light years from Earth. No one had ever heard the sound of gravity waves before, but with them, the understanding of our universe grew exponentially. The 3 key scientists who headed the research were awarded the Nobel Prize for Physics, and eventually, a hands-on, gravity-themed public outreach center, the LIGO Exploration Center, was built on the site. The LIGO story is just one of the examples of the unexpected and unimaginable opportunities of discovery in history and science for visitors and residents in the Tri-Cities. As I toured the LIGO Hanford Observatory, my simple mind was a bit overwhelmed with the science, but my soul was completely energized by the passion I felt in Michael as he shared the joy in discovery. Michael has a PhD in nuclear and particle physics and is the observatory head at LIGO Hanford Observatory. Please welcome to the stage, Michael Landry.
Uncover the whispering spirit of exploration inside you with a captivating fusion of history and science. In the Tri-Cities, discovery, invention, and achievement are an integral part of the ongoing story. Intriguing historical dynamics spawn a driving pursuit of discovery here. World-changing events open vistas for contemplation and consideration, and immersive experiences beckon you to dig a little deeper.
Faith, your 900-pound sturgeon story is going to be tough to follow, believe me. I was in Tokyo a few weeks ago, inspired by all that city of 37 million inhabitants has to offer. And I was wondering, what can I contribute today? So I opened up my laptop and asked ChatGPT, what makes a city great? In a few milliseconds, it returned a coherent listing of essential elements, things like economic opportunity, transportation, culture, recreation. And just as you'd expect from a robot, absolutely no mention at all about the people that occupy that city, that breathe life into the place. Henry David Thoreau once wrote, "If you have built castles in the air, your work need not be lost. That is where they should be. Now put the foundations under them." Here in the Tri-Cities, the foundations that support audacious ideas are the creative and dedicated members of your organizations, those who translate ideas into reality. I was drawn to LIGO in the Tri-Cities in 2000 by a collection of outlandishly optimistic people who had a dream to detect gravitational waves never seen before, vibrations in space-time predicted by Einstein, and thought to be given off by violent astrophysical events far across the universe. When a gravitational wave passes through the Earth, it moves the 2.5-mile-long arms of our detector by about 1/1000th the size of a proton. Optimism is clearly needed here. In the middle of a September night in 2015, we detected our first signal, the collision of two black holes, each about 30 times the mass of our sun. That thrilling days burned in my memory, racing out to the lab to work with the team for long hours, trying to figure out what we had in our data, and ending it thinking about the signal and drinking an extremely large glass of red. Nothing as good as Victor's, though. I've had those since. Now we make a new detection about every 3 days. There are many examples of optimists in action here in the Tri-Cities, actively creating science and history on the fly. PNNL replete in multidisciplinary pursuits from chemistry to quantum computing. The Department of Energy, squarely at the intersection between history and science. Our educational institutions, WSU and CBC, the planetarium, the observatory, the REACH, the Manhattan Project National Historical Park. At LIGO, attracting and engaging potential talent is the hardest and most important thing we do. I urge you, as you create, build, farm, host, and serve in our community, to center your organizations on people. Those who have lived here for years, those who are attracted to come work here, those who choose to visit, learn something of our city, and leave to tell others. In building such a foundation, we'll forge new histories and foster the key sense we all desire in the place that we live, that we belong, that we're home. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. I have so much to learn. Coming up to the plate next is Eric Mertens, better known as Eric the Peanut Guy. There aren't too many people around who have been honored with a personalized, life-size bobblehead statue. But when you're as creative and enthusiastic as Eric the Peanut Guy, a personalized bobblehead is probably about the most appropriate honor you could get. Eric represents the kind of warm-hearted energy you find in the events and entertainment experiences in the Tri-Cities. As a senior in high school, Eric started working with the Dust Devils on the team's inaugural opening day in 2001. He served as the team's peanut vendor and on-field host ever since. Now, as the Dust Devils manager of fan experience and community relations, you'll find him wandering in the stands at the ballpark, interacting with fans, who he calls friends, and cheering on the team. But you'll also see him around the community, giving talks at local church events and emceeing the Tri-City Americans hockey games. He's just an all-around good guy who helps bring out the best in our communities through uplifting event and entertainment experiences. Please welcome to the stage, Eric Mertens.
Unforgettable rhythms of creativity, performance, and culture flow through the Tri-Cities. This is a place where differences are celebrated, and celebrations are different. Music resonates across the water. Riverside parks come to life with passion. Stirring performances electrify the soul, and souls rise through heart-pounding competition. The uncommon pulse of positive energy is attractive. So go ahead, lean in a little closer.
Hey, Tri-Cities, how you doing? Doing okay? Hey, what would a peanut guy be without bringing some peanuts? Victor, this is for you. Heads up, everyone. Who wants one? I haven't done this over tables and glasses before, so heads up, please. There's a reason I MC more than I throw peanuts. One more. Back there. Okay, everyone heads up. Here we go. Please catch that. Oh, God, thank you. Good job. Good job. Well, my name is Eric, and at the ballpark, I throw peanuts and I lead cheers. Is it okay with you if I teach you one of our easy cheers just today? All right, here we go. I say, let's go, and you yell, Tri-Cities. We do this at the ballpark every game. All right, here we go. Let's go! Tri-Cities! Let's go! Tri-Cities! Good job. That was easy, right? It was simple. It's good. When I heard I was going after a nuclear physicist, I had to come up with something. So that was great, Michael. Can you recall your very first memory of the Tri-Cities ever? Now, if you grew up here, maybe you have to go all the way back to your first memory ever. Or if you are a visitor, maybe visiting for the first time today. It was when you drove into town. Welcome, by the way. It's good to have you here. I vividly remember mine. I was 6 years old, and my family was moving here from eastern Idaho. Earlier that month, we'd done a family vacation to Las Vegas. We ran back home to Idaho, packed everything up, and then drove here. We were very tired, but also very excited. And I remember driving north on 395, entering Kennewick, my first time seeing the Tri-Cities. We found our way to Columbia Center Boulevard right out here. And I was taken aback as my 6-year-old self with electronic signs and flashing lights, which our old hometown in Idaho didn't have. And my mom turned around and she said, Eric, what do you think? Do you think you like living here? And I said, yes, it's just like Las Vegas. And my parents had that same reaction, that exact same reaction. But it didn't take long. It did not take long for me to fall in love with this place. Because every weekend, my parents would take my sister and me to a different part of town. The different downtown areas, uptown, down to the river, all the mini parks. We would go to a lot of live performances, theater, concerts. And I quickly learned, even as a kid, that the Tri-Cities has, in my opinion, kind of 3 things that really have going for it. Kevin mentioned 4. We were talking about 4 today. But as a kid, I thought, okay, this place was grown out of creativity and innovation. If it wasn't for those 2 things, the Tri-Cities, we wouldn't be here as we are today. Also, we were very blessed with several cultures that combine to offer a diverse array of colorful sights and sounds, diverse flavors and tastes and experiences. That was very apparent to me as a 6-year-old. And finally, what I really like, even though if you look outside today you can't tell, we have some pretty good weather most of the time. And we are geographically situated in the middle of the Northwest. I had a friend in college, not from here, but she would call the Tri-Cities the crossroads of the Northwest because all of her sports tournaments as a kid would be held in the Tri-Cities. We're kind of in the middle of the action of the region, if you will. So I remember my favorite memory, one of my favorite memories of living here, was when minor league affiliated baseball came back to town in 2001, and I remember when the Tri-City Herald held the Name the Team contest. I remember when the Dust Devils were chosen as the name. And so I signed up that year. I was a senior in high school at Kennewick High. I signed up to work for the team. I was really excited I got it. And I fell in love with being out at the ballpark on a summer night watching the sunset from Gisa Stadium. And so I've come back every summer since. Work, college, grad school has seen me live all over the Northwest, kind of almost every corner of the Northwest. But I come home every summer to work the baseball season. And every summer I would come back, I'd explore a little more, and I'd tell my family, who stayed here the whole time, this place keeps growing. This place keeps getting better. And I don't need to go back to those other cities I've lived in, maybe larger, maybe older, for events and entertainment. We have tons of events that happen every year here. We have annual events. We got Shakespeare in the Park, Art in the Park, Tumbleweed Bluegrass Festival, Mariachi Festival, Fiery Foods Festival. We have Cinco de Mayo celebrations, Sausage Fest, Oktoberfest, Benton Franklin Fair and Rodeo, and of course, boat race weekend in the summer with the Columbia Cup, and so much more. But then we have events that happen year-round. All over we have farmers markets, downtown art walks, live theater, live performances of music, concerts. In the winter, you can go catch an Americans hockey game, and when it's warm and beautiful out during the summer, please come out and check the Dust Devils. You can enjoy those sunsets over Geisa Stadium. So I encourage you sometime today, this is a beautiful event, and I'm really happy to be here for this. Think to yourself, even if you are a visitor or if you are a local, what are some of the things you really enjoy about the Tri-Cities, personally? What are some of the events you like going to the most? Some of your favorite places to go enjoy? Maybe some of those local sports teams or performance groups you like to support? And what can you do in your own personal way to help continue them to grow? Who is that person you can invite to join you at the next event? Believe it or not, I no longer want to live in Las Vegas. It's a great place. I love to visit. But if you're like me, after about 2 days, you're ready to return home. This is home. This is home. And we have tons of things going on year-round, every day, every week, and they keep growing. So, remember that first memory you have of the Tri-Cities, your first impressions, and maybe think about where you are now, what you enjoy, what your impressions are now. See how that has grown, how that has changed over the years. Our creativity and innovation, our diverse cultures, our weather, our geography, what we can do as a community to help them grow. We can take some time. We have a great opportunity to make some great memories, some new memories, because the Tri-Cities here is the perfect place to do that. Thank you for letting the Tri-City Dust Devils be an important part of this community, and have a great rest of your afternoon. I have one final bag to throw out. Who wants it? Here we go. All right, thank you, thanks.
You know, he's pretty good at throwing bags of peanuts. Every single one got caught, right? Good job, folks. Well, that was just a tip of the iceberg of the interesting and amazing people that make up the Tri-Cities and what we're about. As we look to 2024, we're excited to showcase the core experiences of our destination and share the passion and purpose behind them like we've seen today. We hope you'll reach out to your sphere of influence to celebrate and share what is right about the Tri-Cities. There's certainly enough to go around. Next year, the Tri-Cities steps onto the world stage as we introduce 2 new signature events that our team has been feverishly working on. In late July, we will host the National Horseshoe Pitchers World Tournament, where 1,000 of the best pitchers from around the globe will be in our community for 2 weeks as they compete for the world title. That event takes place inside the Toyota Center and Toyota Arena right here on the Three Rivers campus. Talk about uncommon and unexpected. The reigning men's horseshoe pitching champion is one of the most dominant athletes in the world. He's won 27 world titles, and 90% of the horseshoes he throws are ringers. The reigning women's champ, on the other hand, is a 17-year-old who jumped from the junior division 2 years ago and has now won back-to-back championships. Horseshoe pitchers are some of the most friendly people you'll ever meet, and we're excited to be selected to host the sport's most celebrated event in the Tri-Cities. Welcome the horseshoe pitchers here. So then, in mid-September, 2,500 triathletes and 7,500 fans will descend upon our communities when we welcome the Ironman 70.3 Washington Tri-Cities to town. Ironman is one of the most recognized global brands in endurance sports in the world, and we are thrilled that they've selected the Tri-Cities to represent that brand. Well, these are just 2 examples of the kind of work our team has been involved with this year. Together, those 2 events will infuse more than $10 million in visitor spending into our economy, and the benefits of hosting the events go far beyond the economic impact. Signature events like these help workforce recruitment and business development by showcasing the destination to a global audience of active, successful people. The Ironman event was first announced less than 2 weeks ago, and already we have more than 1,000 athletes signed up for the event, representing 38 states and 6 countries. That's the kind of exposure that we're going to get. These visitors will come to know the healthy quality of life we enjoy, our friendly and collaborative community spirit, the beauty of our landscapes, the majesty of our rivers, and the rewarding career and lifestyle opportunities available in the region. We're thrilled to add these 2 signature events to our destination portfolio and very grateful to the support and vision of the community leaders and agencies we work with through the details in securing the events. And for your benefit, representatives from each of these events will be in the lobby following this luncheon, so you can get to know them even better. Take a minute to stop by the booths out there and get to know those 2 event organizers. Now, there's one other project that you need to get to know of and be aware of. Over the next few months, our team will be refreshing our marketing collateral to reflect this new messaging strategy. And one of the most critical pieces in that mix is the publication of a new visitor's guide. We've been collaborating with a talented team at Saga City Content Solutions for a complete refresh of the publication this year. The new visitor guide will have a combined print and digital readership of over 375,000. So we encourage you to be a part of it. Representatives from Saga City are here today too, and they'll have a booth out in the lobby as well, where you can learn more about the design, the content, and the advertising opportunities available in the new publication. Please take a few minutes and spend some time with them while they're here. You know, I believe that there's deep purpose in our roles at Visit Tri-Cities, far beyond putting heads in beds and generating positive impact. In this organization, we have an opportunity and a responsibility to generate positive momentum in our community and help others to see the beauty and the goodness and the opportunity that's there. Visit Tri-Cities is one of the go-to organizations in this community because our team is driven by a philosophy of solution-oriented optimism. We're here to use our talents to positively influence the world around us and to ignite passion and enthusiasm in others to do the same. We hope you felt some of that passion today, and we encourage you to share it and help it grow. When we're open to new opportunities and work together toward positive solutions, unexpected and sometimes unimaginable experiences are just waiting to be uncovered. Thank you for being an integral part of the discovery. Have a great day.